So, yeah. So I met Tim, and so you didn't like people. You didn't like shooting weddings, and you were in that situation with just uncomfortable in your shoes shooting people. So now where are you at?
Now I'm out from there. It's well, I'm actually working with as far as for like still getting models, and this is something else. Like I'm just gonna say this from shooting Model Mayhem models, the ones that would show up, and then we found one guy who would show up, so we shot him 6 times. It's like, he shows up.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
A human being I can take a picture of.
And he even called out once. Oh, and one other funny story, which you might totally cut, that's fine, is I had a friend of mine who's starting to learn photography and come up herself, but she came out to my first model shoot. I'm like, hey, come out to this model shoot. I'm going to have 3 models there. It's going to be great. You know, the first one showing up at 5, then 6:30, then 7:30, whatever. It's gonna be awesome. Joe's up there. The first 2 models bail, and the 3rd model is really awkward. And I'm feeling about this high. I'm feeling knee high to a grasshopper. Like I'm just feeling like garbage. And so the shoot does not go well. And it's so funny because she tried to console me and just had no idea of how it feels to continually put yourself out there and then have people stand you up and you're charging nothing. And it's like, all right, what's going on? You say you want to work with me, all this stuff, and then you still don't show up. A few months later, when she got her own Model Mayhem account, and actually this one weekend, over a weekend, she scheduled 3 people, friends and family, not even Model Mayhem people. Maybe one of them might have been Model Mayhem, but 3 people over the weekend. And all 3 of them stood her up. Smiling is kind of bad. But, man, she's like, Tim, I know exactly how you feel now. It's the worst. Because, like, something you're trying to pour your heart into and trying to grow, and someone else say, nope, free is too much for my time. And, by the way, I'm going to tell you I'm going to show up the whole time, and then actually not.
You don't, you're nothing.
Is rough. But anyways,
kind of like they're flicking up.
Oh, yeah. But where I'm at now is that I'm working with doing trade shoots with an actor's agency. Because of my Model Mayhem account, or because of my portfolio, I was able to show them that I could shoot people. And then now I'm doing trade shoots with them, so I'm not getting paid from those. But now I have reliable people. Work with an agency as soon as you can. Just for freaking reliableness. Like, they show up. It's been amazing. We've scheduled 3 shoots. 3 people have shown up. On time.
Because there's other people to make the person liable.
Oh yeah. It's a big difference. And then, like, that's my favorite part. Like, when we actually went to talk to the guy at the actor's agency, he's like, design a shoot, and then we'll send you the people, and you choose which one you want. We're like, design a shoot, and then choose which one fits the shoot? Before it was always like, just pray they were going to show up. And don't design something too big because it's always discouraging when you design something for hours and they don't show up. So it's like just protecting ourselves there. Where I'm at now, I actually have recently transitioned into some volume work. So since November, I did my first volume job. And then in December, I did a volume job. So I'm actually trying to get more and more into volume work. Which volume work is, I like it for the fact that it can be recurring business. The places I go to, I can shoot them at least every year, if not more than once a year. And with volume work, it's all about the logistical side of it, the system. It's all about making photography that goes fast. I do 10-minute photo sessions, and my average sale off a 10-minute photo session is $50. I do those for like 4 or 5 hours, every 10 minutes. Someone else is in there. Mm-hmm. And then we're just kind of cruising through. So that's where I'm at in trying to get that world. So, like, as far as for how I'm making money and my main thing in photography. And also, actually, I'm gonna be shooting more videos coming up really soon with that 100-watt LED. I don't know when that video is going to come out. But the one we just showed, it looks like it'll be plenty bright for video and all battery powered, which would be awesome. Because honestly, I really, really like lighting for video. Even though I was terrible at the whole shooting directing side, I got a friend who's a pretty good writer. I like his writing style anyways, and I like lighting for it. But that's where volume, and now as far as for my fears of right now and the future is, basically we have enough money to get to the end of January in our business account until it goes empty again, until we got to put more money in, which sucks. And right now I'm only working part time at my job because they don't have any full time hours, so I'm taking money from the business every month, some money. I'd rather not. And didn't think this would happen on the video. And so by the end of January, I have to do 2 more shoots.
It's fine. Yawning happens.
Yeah, yawning. This is a yawn. Yeah, a tear yawn.
Oh.
And yeah, so.
No.
But anyway, so I got a few more shoots by January, which should be doable. Because I'm going to be marketing my stuff after work. Potentially could be a little bit rougher. There's a lot of unknown.
It's okay.
And we're probably going to have to reshoot this part, but that's fine. There's just a lot of unknown.
Yeah, to go on top of that though, so me and Sid, when we lived together, we lived in a 400 square foot house. It was just small. You met me, and so when I moved here from Boise and stuff, I had nothing. So and so when I got into photography, that was the only thing that was going to get me anywhere, because I don't want to work for someone. I hate working for people because I hate it, because it just stops me from doing what I want to do and what I like. And I didn't want to end up like my dad and doing construction until I was 40 and breaking my bones and stuff. And so I would watch videos, creative live videos and stuff like that. And this is,
Or transitioning.
And I wanted to know what it would be like to be that photographer that makes $100,000 a year. And I didn't want to fail on my wife. And I didn't want her just to be the person that does all the work and be this person who's just living off my wife. So that was it's consistently a big driving point for me. So, I mean, and I'm still there, like, knowing that my wife goes every day to work, and here I am fighting with, like, this photographer dream of mine. But she supports me, and I think the difference is, and she shoots with me, so there's a big contrast between you and me on that.
That's true.
But when she was going to school, so it was like if we didn't get a wedding, we were screwed. We couldn't pay rent. We couldn't get things done. And my vehicle's on the last leg. That poor van. I mean...
Speaking of vehicles on the last leg, I'm borrowing my grandfather's vehicle right now, and mine's going into the shop probably tomorrow to be looked at.
This should be called the depressing episode. But
take your Prozac.
I think the biggest thing is that, I've watched all the creative live videos of all these people who just make photography seem like it's like this.
Not all of them do.
Well, not all of them. Sorry, it's pretty broad. But I mean, they sugarcoat everything in photography, and what it really is it's people struggling to try to be the most creative people within a medium that allows you to take photos and pictures and capture time in any way, fashion, and way you want to. And then you get a bunch of people who say that this is the right way of doing it, going on forums, and this is the way it should be. And people tearing down people all the time. I mean, I'm on Strobist. I'm consistently seeing people tear down photographers that do great work. And then these people do these really cheesy, ugly-looking things, and they get praised for it. And it's like, and I mean, even me saying that makes me sound like one of those people, And I don't know. I guess the thing is that I take so much pride in what I do, and I've gotten so to the point where I watch people tear down the wedding industry or just the photography industry in general. They tear it down all the time. And you almost have to be like, you almost have to just hate everything to be in this industry. I mean, because you have to go through hell and high water just to enjoy it, because there's people out there who just consistently, mess with it and tinker with it. But nowadays we have a medium that we have so many cameras and so many tools, so people just like, oh, I could take a picture with an iPad, and I've had people, well, my friend has a good camera, so I'll have them, shoot the wedding.
I love that. I love when my friend got her camera last year. She's had it for a year, her DSLR, and I love the first 2 weeks someone gets a DSLR when they're actually trying, like when they're trying to learn, or an actual real quote unquote camera, because it's so disappointing. Those first 2 weeks are typically so depressing because unless you bring up something close and blow out the background blurry, unless you just do that with your little lens. Typically, your shots are so disappointing because, really, you do all this work to set up everything, and then you just take the shot at the end. It's like you build this whole house, and the camera's just the roof. It's just one more piece. It just has to be there. It's on the top.
Yeah.
It finishes it. It keeps it solid. It keeps it from falling apart. But if you just stick a roof on the ground, you got nothing.
My biggest aha moment in photography and I'm a flashaholic.
You are.
I love flash. I'll use flash at everything. I hate natural light. But this is the way I don't hate natural light. I just always think of natural light as a secondary light. It's always my backlight of something. Mm-hmm. And so, but this is what made my work change, and what made everything easier for me is that I always thought of two images. The one that the camera's taking when it's underexposed, and then the one that the flash gives me. And so that's the way I think. And then, so I look at the image before I take it, like if it was underexposed without flash, and then I imagine what the flash would do. Mm-hmm. And that has changed the way I shoot. Mm-hmm. That has definitely changed the way I shoot.
Backing up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was going to know one more of my failures or learning points.
Yes.
Was this summer, we've had the studio now for 6 months. We have, and we've got this studio we got for a really good deal, as you know, because now you're part of it. And for the first 4 or 5 months, we had like $200, $300 in sales across the board. We got a studio that's $100 plus, $150, $160 a month. That's our half. We're paying a very small part. And so we weren't even able to make our studio rent because what we were offering, people weren't buying. And this is something that is impossible to know for sure for anybody. But it's like, how long do you go trying to sell something at a particular price point and a particular thing before you stop and change to go to something else, And everyone has to answer that question for themselves.
Yeah, guaranteed.
So now for us it was about 2 to 3 months of getting like nothing. And then we started offering to where at the end, like right before we got the volume job, we were offering everything. We were offering baby showers. I don't like shooting babies. I had you shoot my babies because I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a product shoot. That's all a baby is.
It's a little. I love the other products that didn't move at all. So, but like that's at the end, and I told my brother, I was like, we're just casting every pole in the water. Now, some of you are going to think that's a bad idea, but whatever. Casting every pole in the water, seeing which one hits, and then we're just going to go with that one. So and I'll tell you, with our first volume job, we made $1,300 gross. We netted probably about $1,100 off that.
Well, here's the thing. What makes you want to? Okay, so usually people want to go shooting when they take a camera. They have a thing that they enjoy about photography. What is yours?
Creating something that isn't maybe that isn't there, or making someone look better than they are. You know, like pretty much that's mine. Like, and now if I have to do that through lights, if I have to do that through posing or direction, if I have to do that through whatever, I want to make it look better because I was there. Is my goal, and that's where, like, if I could just have something in my eye and not have a camera, totally down with that. I don't need the camera. I want to use the tools, and the camera's one of the tools, to make the situation, the person, the scene, the whatever the heck, look better because I was there by this one angle. Than if I wasn't. So I mean, it's really broad, but that's kind of my thing. And volume works well for me because this is something you have to think about within your market. It's like, all right, who do you want to go for? Everyone says they want to be,
and you get bored quick.
You do, you know, but
no, you do. You get bored quick.
I do.
So you need things that are.
I do. Oh, here's something else. Me and my brother. I'm the kite. He's the rock on the ground. I always have my head in the clouds. You know, I'm always flying all over the place. If it wasn't for my brother, I would not be doing photography.